Who's got a ball?
You can't play with me.
Shot! Hey, balance it out! Stay there! All right, help that! Hey, yo, right here!
You want the smoke?
Shot! Come on, man! Help out! That's all you!
Hey, yo, right here.
Let's take that strong. Way to grab it! You got him! Come on, man, who got the ball? Pick! Hey, yo, right here!
Go, man.
Yo, right here! Come around! Shot!
Good take, man.
You can't guard me! Knock it down! Boom!
I just can't stop.
No! I see him! Shoot that, man! Foul! Hey, right here! Hey, come to me! Shot! Oh! Can't stop this! Hey, swing it! 5 seconds! Give me that! Shot! He's beating you! Watch! No! I see him! Ball! Oh, foul! Shoot that, boy! Come get it! Yo, look at the clock! Ball going up! Way to get it! Oh, yo, right here! Hey, who got ball? Hey, get it! Ball! Shot! me, come to me. Oh, foul.
Shoot that, man.
Bust that. Bust that.
Hey, who's watching them?
Who got ball? Who got ball?
Good boy, good boy.
No. Shot.
Too slow. Defend.
We are celebrating the end of Season 9 of 2K TV with community members. We have got Demi, Aaliyah, and Watch Me Work. They're going to go with LD2K and Rodney in the wreck and hopefully get some W's on today's episode of Team 2K TV versus the world. What's going on? Welcome to the show again, you guys. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you feeling today?
It feels great. I mean, I'm excited to be on here. You know, it's always good to be able to come on 2K TV and to be able to, you know, show your game to the rest of the world. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
I'm very excited to be here. Grateful for the opportunity to
Richard, we're seeing a lot more back-to-backs now at this mid-portion of the season. What are those like to play in for a player?
Oh, they are fun because it's a mental challenge and it's a physical challenge more than anything on that one. But I love it. I am not opposed to back-to-backs because you know what? There were players that used to have to play them and fly on flights in the morning. Now we get to fly on private jets. So if they can do it, we can do it.
And you got to get your rest, though, between those games, don't you?
Yeah, you got to get your rest. You got to get your sleep, but do not eliminate the back-to-backs. I love them.
And now the opening lineup for Boston. Up at the forward spots, it's Tatum and Horford. Down out there with Malcolm Brogdon, and it's Williams at the center filling out the middle.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
And here is Brown after the three-pointer from Edwards. It's Brogdon on the wing. And it's Williams with the jam.
Yeah, hard trying to keep Williams off the boards. He makes it a mission to keep possessions alive.
And here's Edwards from the arc. And the Nets, another three.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
It just seems, Richard, like Robert Williams is a guy willing to do anything to help his team.
And there's a whole lot he can do. His defense has never been a question. He can dish it. He's an aggressive rebounder. And look, his effort level, that's something we'll never question.
They're finding every shot they've wanted so far a perfect 3 of 3 to start the game.
To the middle. And the slam by Williams.
A primary responsibility of Brogdon's. When someone is open on his squad, he gets it to him.
And here's Edwards from the arc. Nailed from three-point land. Edwards got 12.
And how great are they playing? 4 for 4 shooting to start this one.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Second personal foul. Team second.
And so they foul intentionally.
Edwards. His third personal foul. Third team foul.
To the wing right side. Horford has a wide open look. Trying to come right back with the three of his own. But it's no good. The pass to Edwards. Three-pointer. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Last game for Boston, they picked up the W against Miami.
Fourth team foul.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. And they go to the intentional foul for Malcolm Brogdon. He comes from a family, Greg, where education comes first.
And well, Malcolm earning his degree plus a master's while in college. His dad and brother, lawyers. His mom involved in higher education. Brogdon, maybe the smartest guy in the NBA.
The first free throw is good.
And Brogdon traded over the summer to the Celtics. I'm interested to see how he'll fit with the rest of the Celtics guards. They certainly have a deep rotation now and a lot of flexibility.
Brogdon hits them both. And this Celtics squad looking like the Celtics of old.
Yeah, always a tough squad when I was playing, and it's looking like that again. You got a great mix of young players and veterans, and don't be surprised if Boston is back on top very soon.
Very soon. And the foul called on Edwards. And so he... Tie game in Brooklyn. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
The Celtics, 57.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance.
All right, here we are together in the rec, and I'm going to put my rec sweats on just so I can see a little crystal clear and get this W.
Nah, LG looking spiffy right now.
Watching work, you wearing slip-ons?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, we call those the jailhouse works right there.
All right, let's go.
Man.
You should be off, so.
Good start, good start.
You need it?
Oh, Ratchet. Let's go. Big
Oh, yeah.
buckets. Baby Shaq. Let's go.
Good take, good take. That's off.
Wow.
What? Good stuff.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Can't leave that open for you.
Nice pass.
Thank you.
Right now it's 10-10.
There it is.
Here in the middle part of the season, Grant, what are the biggest challenges for players?
Well, BA, it's mental, physical, and emotional fatigue. Night in and night out, you have to stay focused. With the amount of games teams play, all those back-to-backs traveling across the country. Bringing it every time out can be difficult.
And now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Charlotte Hornets. Rozier out on the wing with Hayward. P.J. Washington out there with Nick Richards. And it's Ball in at the point. Here's Simmons. Time called here. The Nets decide to talk it over now.
Oh, and last summer, Ben Simmons had surgery on a herniated disc. I'm not a back expert, you know, I'm more of an ankle guy, but it's hard to be effective when that area is just not right.
And here's Edwards outside. He drops it from range.
Really good pass from Finney Smith. He understands that you can't squeeze that orange if you got somebody ready to catch and shoot.
And last season, Ben Simmons caught some flack for not suiting up in the playoffs. Grant, you think his surgery quieted those voices a little?
You know, I think it did a little bit, but, you know, at this point, it's going to come down to his performance on the court. He does have something to prove. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Oh, man, the defender really went after him.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And so Washington nails both of them.
Easy to see that this Hornet squad loves to play at a fast pace, and for good reason. They're built to do just that. They push the ball up court fast and hard. And they really work hard to try and catch the opposition unprepared and unalert.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Oh, got that bucket in no time at all.
Hey, I saw that coming from a mile away. I tell you, Rozier wanted to rise to the challenge of their last three to see who owns the arc.
And here's Edwards outside, and the Nets another three. And when it comes to their up-tempo play, do the Hornets' youthfulness play a part in that, you think, Clark?
There's no question about it, B.A. I mean, a younger squad definitely, I think, means more natural energy. So they've got more gas in that tank. Their amber light rarely comes on. And they can really outwork more experienced older teams in some cases.
And the Nets, another three.
And this is how you want to start the ball game. 4 for 4 from the field. Seems like they're right on point and can't miss.
And that's an intentional foul.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Until they foul intentionally.
Foul. Third team foul.
And an intentional foul right there.
Edwards. His third personal foul. Fourth team foul.
Rozier outside. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
LaMelo Ball is must-see TV. He is so much fun to watch. An exciting young all-star plays with such verve and confidence. And his passing ability incredible. And as a result, he's in the highlight reel more often than not. Making it look effortless. Send this guy to the stripe, he's going to cash in more than not.
An excellent perimeter offense so far. Their shooters are clearly in a great rhythm.
It really makes them a hard team to guard because they space you out so well.
Now here's Rozier. His numbers are solid, putting up around 18 points a game. And talking about LaMelo, his game has caught the attention of the legend, Magic Johnson.
There were few that did it anywhere near the level that Magic did it at, with his enthusiasm and creativity as a passer and that winning karma that he brought to the Lakers. And he likes LaMelo's basketball IQ and actually even compared LaMelo to himself, which to me is the highest order of praise. You know, I think he may have forced that pass when there was really no reason to.
So Brooklyn going with almost an entire new group here. Claxton, he's checked in for Simmons. O'Neal comes in for Finney-Smith. Thomas, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Dinwiddie in for Bridges.
So far, they're owning both ends of the floor. We'll see if they can keep this going.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that. If you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
It's both from the stripe.
The people upstairs in Brooklyn have been making some very interesting moves, trying to put together a championship caliber team.
And the three-pointer goes.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have...
So it's Brooklyn already.
Brooklyn 61. The visiting team 35.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up. So we see the Nets taking the W here. They didn't have too many problems tonight.
They did. Just a tremendous team effort. Once they had that big lead, they were not going to let the visitors back into the game.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Clark Kellogg, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying thank you for watching.
shocked.
Oh, nice. Good take.
Demi and Work, if you guys want an ISO, call for it. We'll clear out.
Oh, got you. Thank you.
You see the smile on Watch Me Work's face?
Yeah, Work, you're too quiet, man. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you will be surprised at how many arguments I've had with people just because I asked for a little space. I got right side.
I'm coming in. Nope. Oh, he threw the lob. Good play.
Oh, I'm trying to pass it. No, I'm trying to pass it.
Sorry, we got you.
All right.
Oh,
man, he's starting stuff with Aaliyah. Stop.
Wow. A little feisty. Didn't
There it is.
That's
There it
nice. Hey, don't talk about it.
Oh, man, I have no free throws on this build.
Yeah.
We've had this one circled on our calendar for a long time. Two teams that are clicking, and Greg playing great basketball.
Oh, yeah, and I've been looking forward to this one as well. It's going to be about limiting mistakes because the way these teams are playing, they're jumping on any mistake their opponent makes.
Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. The guard pair, the talented Young and Murray. Griffin out there with Collins, and it's Okongwu in at the five. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. You know, Smitty, last year, the Hawks' top 4 leading scorers were all 24 or younger. That is amazing.
It is, Kevin, and at the top of that list is Trae Young. He's a player Atlanta can build around. It's a matter of finding the pieces to put around Young to complement his game.
Out to the right wing. Thomas against Murray. Rebound, Brooklyn. Simmons looking around. For 3, Edwards. And the Nets, another 3.
And that's exactly what he's looking for. Edwards draining the triple.
And so it's Young who brings it up for the Hawks. 6-point game. Outside Griffin. Out to the wing. Pass to Murray. 5 to shoot. Over Thomas. Again, the miss by Murray.
You expect him to make that, especially from that distance.
And here's Edwards from the arc. Buries the long-range jumper. Edwards got 9.
And if you look at this first half, overall, they've just had the better shot selection.
What they have done is ran their plays all the way through until they get something they like.
That's tipped.
This is where Bridges' wingspan is a factor, allowing him to reach out and get a piece of that shot.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
Really consistent with their aggression. In that game, we saw very few lulls from an intensity standpoint.
A couple things stood out for me. They were relentless, and they also played under control. That's a deadly combination.
They are the Brooklyn Nets.
Beyond the arc. And there's Edwards on the assist by Simmons. And that's 12 points for Mr. Clutch.
And you know what? They've been on a nice run here, have the ability to widen the gap. Now they are rolling.
I totally agree. They just can't be stopped. They're just firing on all cylinders.
Here's Young. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Second personal foul. Team second.
And he commits the intentional foul.
Edwards.
And right now, let's watch that terrific swat.
And right out of the gate, trying to set the tone defensively, you gotta love that energy.
And an intentional foul right there.
Edwards. Fourth personal foul. 4th team foul.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
They came out firing from deep. It's always good for a team's confidence when you can start a game that hot.
And I also have to bring up their passing game. They've been moving the ball with great precision so far and creating great looks for their teammates.
And here is Murray after the three-pointer from Edwards. Now, here is Young. With his average of more than 32 points a game, he's giving opponents nightmares with his firepower. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Offensive rebound. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
Salvage the possession. He's a terrific offensive rebounder.
For 3, Edwards. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Well, Quinn Snyder and I got to...
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets. Go.
The score, Brooklyn, 57. The Hawks, 47.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. So it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You gotta love being on edge of your seat and just wondering what's gonna happen. How is this thing gonna play out?
And that'll do it, folks.
Please, 2K, please just help Rodney make this free throw. It's very hard for him. And I jinxed it. And I jinxed it.
Thanks, Chris.
The jinx.
Oh, that's all you. Yeah, good drive.
Good take.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, only down 2.
You guys want to come out in a zone at the start of third? It might confuse them.
Yeah, we could throw something off. I like that, coach. I mean, well, not coach. Not coach.
Wow.
And both teams tonight unafraid to run offense through their bigs, Grant. Talk about the value of being able to do that.
Yeah, B.A., you know, it just speaks to how both teams can beat you in multiple ways of playing. I think it can lead to higher percentage looks with the bigs running the offense. You can strike a nice balance between inside and out, which coaches are preaching right now.
Now the opening lineup for the Brooklyn Nets. Johnson is out there with Royce O'Neal. Then it's Mikal Bridges. Then it's Nicholas Claxton. And it's Edwards in at point guard. Here's Matherin. Rebound Brooklyn. They want to keep rolling here following a win against Atlanta.
And you'd have to think that luck played a part in that one. I mean, the opponent had an off night at the defensive end for sure.
Well, give them some credit for taking advantage of a weak defense and capitalizing on every mistake.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
And now we've got an intentional foul.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Back to Halliburton. 4 on the clock. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Brooklyn has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. Edwards for 3. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
When you let a team knock down that many threes, you know you're likely to be on the wrong side of a run.
The Pacers are not the only pro team in town. The Fever get great support in the WNBA doors.
They certainly do, BA, and it speaks to how special the game of basketball is in the Hoosier State. Every level, from high school to college to pro, they simply love the game, and we're with that. Boy, they came ready to play. That's 4 straight buckets to start the game.
Indiana's gone 0 for 2 from outside. Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
And with the offense reeling, coach has to get these guys on the same page.
And to me, they're just taking too many tough shots. And when they do get an easy one, the confidence just isn't there.
Pass to Matherin. Back to Halliburton. Gets an open look and hits it.
And I'll tell you, Matherin's passing game has a solid foundation. Now, hopefully, it continues to grow here.
Edwards for 3. And the Nets, another 3.
And early on, they've been on a tear. Just getting whatever they want offensively.
Well, what I love is the game plan has been solid from the opening tip. And guys are making their shots. That's critical.
Team foul.
And they go to the intentional foul.
Edwards. 3rd personal foul. 3rd team foul.
And the Pacers with possession here, trailing by 13. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
4th team foul.
And he commits the intentional foul.
The ideal guard in today's NBA. Tyrese Halliburton has length at 6'5". Now he can run the offense, plus Tyrese is an excellent three-point shooter.
With Halliburton, the stats show a complete guard, Grant.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. 40% from deep. Halliburton's been top 10 in the league in assists. Defensively, just racking up steals. Tyrese can play the 1 through 3. He does just about everything. 12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
And now they decide to foul him.
Substitution.
So it's Brooklyn in control.
That's the end of the first half with the score. Your Pacers 42, the Nets 58.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this. This one belongs to Brooklyn. They played the villain tonight, and they played it well.
Yes, they did. And, you know, you have two choices. You can either succumb to the hostility in this arena, or you can feed off of it and use it as motivation. They did the latter.
And that about wraps it up. For Allie LaForce, Doris Burke.
Tons of time left.
All right, it's the last quarter.
Whoa!
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
This dude is cooking with grease. Coach, we need you right now. We need some guidance.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do at this moment.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's only 15.
I'll come back from worse.
It's only 15.
I'll come back from worse. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Is our coach unavailable at the moment?
You know, Brent, after a few years of small ball getting even smaller, it's feeling like now there is a resurgence of the big man.
Yeah, I don't know, Kevin, if that's because last year we had 3 potential MVP candidates that all played a bigger position. But you got to have one of those guys in order for you to say that we are going to accentuate the biggest player on the floor to do the things needed to get wins.
So the net starting 5. We've got Mikal Bridges. He's out there with Edwards. Cameron Johnson is out there with Simmons. And it's Claxton in at the 4. Now, here's Nunn. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Out to Morris for the 3. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field. Edwards with it. Guarded now by Morris. Here's the 3. And again, the 3-point shot from Edwards. Edwards got his second bucket tonight.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
And the Nets, another 3.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
And Morris has got the ball here for Washington. 7-point differential. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Nets. That one was played in Brooklyn.
Yeah, tough game on the road. The guys you're defending, obviously comfortable shooting in their own building. You've got to find a way to break their rhythm.
Yeah, they couldn't do it in that one. Always a step slow in closing out the shooters and maybe even recognition of who was on the floor. Just not enough energy, and that's a tough way to win on the road.
So timeout called here. The first for Washington. 2022, Greg, a year for the Washington Wizards with some historic significance.
And it marks 25 years of the Washington Wizards name being on an NBA jersey. A cool moment for the current players who can look back on this franchise and know they're a part of history.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. With a short break in the action gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Well, I had a chance to talk with the head coach, Wes Unseld Jr. Now, they have not won yet in 2 meetings against this team, but Coach says he expects a different story tonight. He expects them to attack more offensively and worry a little less about waiting for the perfect shot. We'll see if that approach lets them win this first game in the season series. Kevin?
Great work, DA. So at the top of their to-do list, Greg, generate buckets.
Yeah, you can get all the stops in the world, but it does you no good if you're not scoring on the other end.
Got to think on top of the game plan, it's about sharing the basketball. If they do that, they'll be just fine.
And the foul was called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
For 3, Edwards. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And really setting the tone early with their three-point shooting.
Here in the first quarter with about 6 gone by. And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
With social media and the cult celebrity, a lot of pitfalls for players. Brent, is the NBA doing a good job preparing them to face those very public challenges?
It's a really good question, Kevin. And I think what's interesting is to study players who've been in the NBA for a while that are embracing social media versus...
Dominating first half of basketball, and so far it hasn't been close. Nets lead by 19. They'll be back shortly, live from Washington.
66.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. One of the stories here, guys, Karis LeVert getting it done today.
And the bulk of his damage so far has come from the perimeter. A lot of threes early on.
Yeah, he keeps tracking down those spots behind the three-point line and finding some open opportunities.
They've got Daniel Gafford. Monte Morris is out there with Kendrick Nunn. Then there's Porzingis, and it's Kuzma in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they control the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that about wraps it up for Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge.
The Legend Grind this year was actually pretty meant for what I do, because my favorite game mode on the game is actually the ones court. So the 100,000 points went very well with us.
Wait, so you're telling me a chunk of your 100,000 points came from 1v1 games?
Oh, all of them. All of them, to be honest.
やっぱり自分の動画で結構 2K 見て始めましたって言ってくれる人とか結構いて、やっぱそれが結構嬉しいんで、なんかそれで今続けてるっていうのは結構多いですね。
And what are your followers looking for most when they watch your 2K content?
そうですね。なんか基本はマイキャリアですけど、なんかたまにそのオンラインやってほしいとかマイチームやってほしいとか言われるんですけど、でも配信でマイチームは結構やりますね。
My NBA is great because you can rewrite the history, but you can also build the own future of the NBA, and you can also change players up. So if you would like to see Shaquille O'Neal being the greatest ball handler
When you get to the middle of the season like we are now, are you still experimenting with your game as a player, RJ?
Yeah, there's always room for improvement. One thing that I tell people is that if you start working on something at the beginning of the season, by the end of the season, it could be a part of your game. So you're just always looking to refine your skill and your craft.
And the starting lineup for the Nets. We've got Nicholas Claxton, Edwards out there with Mikal Bridges. Then it's Ben Simmons, and it's Johnson in at the 3, the small forward. Here's Van Vliet. Brooklyn with the board. They defeated Washington in their last game.
You have to respect their ability to stay consistent away from home, keeping their cool and making quality shots.
They took the air out of the crowd again and again with big shots. They never let the fans become a factor.
That's what you call playing big. He just stays committed to the attack mode.
Also relying on his skill there. That's a nice move against length.
Fantastic replay we just saw of the Mobile One drive.
The aggressive take there to get inside. They're looking to make things happen to try and take control of this game.
And in 2021, when the Nets traded for James Harden, they became the favorites. And after it all fell apart last season, many were left wondering what might have been.
Now here's Van Vliet. He had 9 points in his last time out. Siakam outside. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Brooklyn has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. You know, for the Nets, history repeating itself. Think back to 2013. Their trade with the Celtics, creating another star trio. It didn't work out, and it set the franchise back for years, RJ.
Yeah, but credit the front office. They made something out of nothing. They got young assets, and they got them these stars. And they are still in a relatively strong position because they got a ton of picks in return.
And an Obi for three. The rebound by Simmons.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Shot is good by Edwards.
Wow, their opponent is doing a tremendous job spacing the floor.
For Toronto, they've gone 1 of 4 to begin this one. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Just haven't found their offensive footing yet, only managing to sink 1 of their first 5 shots.
Three-pointer. Again gets it to go. He can't miss. 5 for 5.
5 out of 5 to start things off. They certainly seem to be in a good rhythm.
Toronto has gone 0 for 3 from downtown, and so they choose to intentionally foul.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Gary Trent Jr., he's checked in for Toronto.
And that's his second foul committed with a lot of game left. Gotta be careful.
And so they foul intentionally. So the Nets making a switch here. Dinwiddie's checked in. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. And now we've got an intentional foul.
13 foul. Coming onto the floor.
And they go to the intentional foul.
And when you look at Van Vliet on the floor, you would think he gets targeted on defense. But for a player his size, he more than holds his own.
And Van Vliet, a very solid defender at his position grade.
Not great length, but strong as any, BA. I mean, he has great hands to bother the ball handler and great defensive IQ that makes the most of his athleticism.
Achua's checked in for Toronto.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
And that's an intentional foul.
That's a tough walk back to the showers. Pretty sure he'd like to have a couple of those plays back.
Some changes for Brooklyn. O'Neal, he's checked in for Claxton. Karis LeVert comes in for Johnson. And it's Curry in for Edwards. And so that brings the first half to a close. Nets out in front, up by 8. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after the break.
49. Ladies and gentlemen, your wrestler, you dancing. Ladies and gentlemen.
And if you just joined it in, 1 half is in the books. 1 half to go. So we see the Nets taking the W here. They have to feel good about this performance. It's one they can be proud of.
Very true. I mean, when you're out on the road, the wins can feel a little sweeter. This one has to feel extra special.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Brian Anderson saying thanks for tuning in. So long, everybody.
We're super grateful to how 2K have given us opportunities to be involved in, with stuff like this. Being a woman, being a black woman in an industry that doesn't favor us, it really, really helps to know that you have a backing of like 2K.
I heard that a lot of players, 2K players in China play 2K because of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's such an honor. I want people to have the exact same experience as me. So how good it is actually to play the game basketball on 2K.
The secret to our team's success, what it really is our confidence. Like when we're playing for this big amount of money, all these other teams are playing like real tight, and when we're playing, we're just laughing, having fun, like we're going to lose.
One of the reasons why I like the bigs, all of my builds are defensive first builds. So the thing I like about the Paint Beast is in the WNBA, the Paint Beast is the best rebounder and the best shot blocker. And in addition to that, they're pretty good on the inside. There's a dunk if you've never seen one in the WNBA. They're pretty rare.
Know your players' releases, so I would say
I typically hop into freestyle before using a new team or a team I'm not familiar with and just get used to their players' jump shots because obviously shooting is very key to the game. And then defensively, I like to play aggressively. So I would say if you can, play aggressive, play the lanes, and just kind of speed up your opponent.
As the regular season continues, Smitty, what's it like on those long road trips?
You know, Kevin, it can really wear on you, especially physically. And then being away from home for so long, that's not great. But on the positive side, the lengthy road trips are a chance to bond with your teammates.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. We've got Johnson. Mikal Bridges out there with Edwards. Then there's Ben Simmons. And it's Claxton in at the fourth. It's good from long range. Edwards got the game going with his first points of the game for the Nets.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Passes it to Bagley. Pistons passing it around. Here's Duran. Tries again. And it's good on the way in.
Effort play, pursuing the basketball. Love how he puts in the work.
For three, Edwards. And the Nets, another three.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the deep.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Edwards.
Pistons basketball.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. It's been a little over a decade, Steve, since the Pistons last made real noise in the playoffs.
They've had a tough run of it lately, but rebuilding periods are never pretty, Kevin. They just need time to get back to contender status.
Brooklyn's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Launches a three. Down it goes for his third basket in as many tries.
Man, he is feeling it from three-point range. All of a sudden, he just can't miss.
Bogdanovich against Johnson. Down low, here's Ivy. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
He's a big combo guard, and Ivy plays with no fear in that.
Edwards looking it over. Drills the three-pointer. Edwards got 12.
All these threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. What you got for us, DA?
Well, earlier I spoke with Dwayne Casey. He wants his guys to focus on jamming the perimeter shooters. He wants hard closeouts, no room to operate. He knows what this team can do if you give them any space on the outside to shoot. And they're going to be determined not to let that happen. Kevin?
All right, David, thank you. Obviously, the three ball is a big concern for any defense. And here's Ivy following the three from Edwards. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Now, here's Cunningham. Checking some stats on him right now. He's averaging just around 22.5 points a game.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Here's Bagley. 8-point game. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
And with Ivy, he gives you the physical traits you want at guard. Long, strong, athletic, lots of upside.
And Ivy especially effective in the open floor.
Outstanding burst and speed, plays with a high motor, and he's always in attack mode.
And that one falls for Ivy.
And you have to appreciate the all-out effort Jay Navi gives you on the court. He works so hard to find ways to get involved and prove he belongs here.
Dinwiddie's checked in for Mikal Bridges. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And here's Edwards. He's got 12. From outside the arc. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And really setting the tone early with their three-point shooting.
Last game for Brooklyn. They picked up the W against the Raptors. Bogdanovich, that's for two. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And here's Edwards from the arc. A three-pointer is right on target. Edwards got 18 points in the game.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
Yeah, in that one, the shot selection wasn't terrible, but they had to tighten it up. It did not happen.
They never really got into a rhythm, despite trying a few different things. Sometimes it's just not your night.
So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. James Wiseman, he's checked in for Duren. Stewart comes in for Marvin Bagley. Diallo, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. And Hayes subbed in for Cunningham. And then for Brooklyn, Watanabe's checked in for Simmons. O'Neal comes in for Nicholas Claxton. And Harris subbed in for Johnson. For Detroit, they have had two chances at the line already, making them both.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
The size Hayes possesses at his position is unique. He's good at using his physical advantages.
Crushing it right now. They've done an excellent job of spacing the floor.
If you love analytics, this is what this is all about. They favor the three ball. You can pile up points in a hurry.
For Detroit, they have been solid at the line so far. 4 for 4.
At the line for two.
First free throw is good. Hayes hits them both. Nets leading by 11. For three, Edwards. It's good for his 8th consecutive basket in only 8 tries. Wow.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the result.
And Hayes kicks to Ivy. Pass to Diallo. Brooklyn with the rebound. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hit the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
They embraced the challenge as well. They hit big shot after big shot to keep the other team at bay.
Now here's Edwards. He's got 24.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
Play calling has been fantastic. They've been a step ahead of the defense since the opening tip.
And he has to take that long, slow walk.
So it's Brooklyn sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting. They've been dialed in so far.
The net, 56.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. You know, Greg, you played on some gritty teams, and we hear that expression, getting punched in the mouth, and it's not usually literal. But what's that look like on the floor? What's it feel like on the court?
Kevin, you're just out hustling and out muscling the team. At times, you'll see it. They kind of checked out mentally. And I'll tell you what, it is one of the best feelings in sport.
So for Brooklyn now, they've got Simmons. Cameron Johnson is out there with Britt. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. See you later.
And we are continuing our virtual wrap party with our good friends. Welcome back to the show, Bash World and King Jordan. How are you guys feeling today? Bash, you start first.
I'm doing great, wonderful. I'm happy to be here. You know, y'all my family, so whenever I get a chance to be on 2K TV, I'm ready to rock and roll.
And I'm excited to be here too as well. It's always a great celebration to be here on 2K TV. I always feel like it's like a high school reunion every single time that we're on. Thank you for having me.
Well, you guys aren't alone because one of our own members is joining you. Danny, how are you feeling? We're going to head into the theater today. I see that you guys have some great gear and you're ready to go today.
I feel a little underdressed. You know what I mean? I feel like, like we could step this up a little bit, you know?
Some added excitement in the arena tonight, Doris. A matchup that gets every basketball fan excited.
A game like this, BA, has league-wide appeal. That's the kind of star power we've got on the court tonight. What a measuring stick for each team going forward.
All right, checking out Golden State's opening lineup. The core of the dynasty all on the floor. Curry and Clay, the guards, with Draymond up front at the 4. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Kevon Looney. Curry, no good. Now here's Edwards. Playing Detroit, he was nearly unstoppable. And the Nets, another 3.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
Curry from deep three-point land. That won't go either for Curry. Brooklyn has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. Simmons finds Edwards. From the arc. Yes. And that's Simmons with the assist. Edwards got 9.
When you let a team knock down that many threes, you know you're likely to be on the wrong side of a run.
Guys, it seems to me that what's gotten lost in all the criticism of Ben Simmons shooting is the fact that this guy is still very special at the things he is very capable of doing.
And it's Brooklyn ball. 9 points in a row, a good run going. Johnson passes to Edwards. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Golden State. And Simmons has taken a ton of heat recently.
He really has, BA, but it seems to me he's ready to prove his doubters wrong. Maybe he uses all that criticism as motivation to finally improve his shooting, because absolutely on the defensive end, this guy is a terror. And in transition, he puts a ton of pressure on you. Well, it can't get worse than this. 0 for 4 to start.
Basket counts.
Talk about hitting the ground running. 4 for 5 to start.
The Warriors have gone 0 for 4, missing their first 4 attempts. And an intentional foul right there.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Second personal foul. Team second.
And about 2 minutes into the first quarter here. And so they foul intentionally.
His third personal foul. Third team foul.
And they go to the intentional foul. Grant, when you see players make that leap from star to superstar, think about guys like Giannis and Jason Tatum. I mean, what is that step like? You did it.
Well, it's interesting. You know, you come into the league and you have success right away, but at some point, everything just clicks. It could be year 4, year 5, year 6, usually in that window where now you figure things out and now you take that next step and become elite. Now, BA, you know, I'm hoping that things start to click with me in my golf game. It's been about 4 or 5 years there, too.
Superstar status is not in the cards for you on the golf course. Here's Thompson. The Nets making their last shot. The shot by Looney, no good.
I mean, just a tough start, missing their first 5 shots.
And here's Edwards outside. It goes again. His 6th basket in 7 tries.
They've been very effective so far. A balanced attack at its best.
On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
This defense is getting spaced out. 3 of the last 5 buckets have come from way beyond the arc. Well,
Seth Curry, he's been the guy making things happen for Brooklyn. Hit a couple from downtown this quarter.
68. The Warriors, 52.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's Trending to be. So we see the Nets taking the W here, showing that they're the far superior team. They win it going away.
I'll tell you what, give it up for their fans. They love to watch this team dominate. You best believe they're all going home happy tonight.
And that'll do it, folks. For Doris Burke, Allie LaForce, and Grant.
I love that taunt, Danny. I gotta get me a taunt. Give me something.
Danny, who has better moves, you or my player or you in real life?
Oh, definitely my player. And please don't ever make me prove that that's true.
No, I won't.
I love the theater. This is beautiful. Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. That was my fault.
I was trying to get it to you, Jordan, actually.
That was my fault. I got to set you up bad.
We're good.
We're all coming to.
Greg, when you look at these rosters, both teams have lots of quality players and very deep benches.
And with the pace we see in games, it really helps to have more legs to run. Each of these coaches have a lot of options, so it'll be interesting to see how they play the matchups.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. The talented pair of Middleton and Giannis in at forward. Holiday and Allen have guard duties, and it's Portis in at the 5 spot. And so the Milwaukee Bucks get the first points of the ballgame. Knocks down the 3 ball.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice dribbling.
And Holiday kicks to Middleton. And there's the pass to Giannis. He can't get that one. Bridges with some nice defense. And here's Edwards from the arc. Good. It's Johnson with the assist that time. And it's 6 points for Mr. Clutch.
And the defense scattered all over the place on the break. Nice job finding the wide open 3.
First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Antetokounmpo finds Middleton. Portis, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Near the 3-point line, it's Edwards. Another one falls for Brooklyn. And the Bucks with possession here. 4-point game. Holiday, the pass to Allen. Now Middleton. Middleton is doubled. The shot by Antetokounmpo. Nobody around. That 3 off the mark. Brooklyn's gone 2 of 2 from 3-point range here in the first quarter.
And the Bucks are on a tremendous run here. The most consecutive playoff appearances since that streak they had back from 1980 to 91.
And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Mike Budenholzer and I got a chance to talk for a bit. Defensively, he wants his guys to protect the rim and do everything they can to push the offense out to the perimeter. He told me if we can do that, I feel good about our chances. Now, guys, obviously that's a tall order, but he's trying to get his guys to get geeked for the challenge.
All right, thank you, David. And an intentional foul right there. Greg, and back to the Bucks. The question is, how much longer do you think is their window?
That's just it, Kevin. They've got the players to win now, and that has to be the attitude moving forward. They're built to do it again. Just need to push all the right buttons.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Brooklyn.
We've got a bunch of this game yet to be played, but they're shooting well from the three-point line. That's got to be a welcome sight.
But how about their scoring in transition as well? That's been a big factor to this point. Are those high tops or flat shoes these guys are wearing? My goodness.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
Yeah, I'd be confident, too. As a matter of fact, I mean, he's stacking up threes the way he is. I mean, he's doing all this work from behind the arc.
And he has to take that long, slow walk back to the bench here. He'll watch the rest of this one from the sideline.
And the Nets making a change here. Dinwiddie's checked in. That's good from Holiday.
He is the epitome of a seasoned veteran. Drew Holiday has performed at a high level no matter what.
And a close game so far through the first two quarters as we...
The score, Brooklyn, 55. The Bucks, 53.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to... And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Owen, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.
Exact same. I like to look like myself in the game.
Oh, that's a good shot. Let's go. Bash, cast,
Come on,
splash.
baby.
Oh, Danny. That's Danny the goal right there.
Okay.
Let's go.
3-point specialist. See, I need shooters like this all the time when I'm streaming.
Oh, man.
They be out there bricking.
Now I understand why Bash never invites me when I want to play with him. He's like, I need guys that can shoot. And I'm like, oh, okay.
They get nothing down here.
Nothing.
Yeah.
We got the best centers out here. Let's go. Oh, Danny, I see you. Oh, they gonna kill the take it from me. I couldn't pick it up at first.
It's all good. They're trying to fight for something. They're sitting here with a free throw still.
That's true.
Good defense.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Go.
Woo. Oh.
I'm seeing some Magic Johnson passes going on.
Oh,
oh man.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice.
That definitely would have been a top play contender.
Yeah.
Oh, pressure's on.
Oh, let's go. Give it to me.
They got to guard that.
I'm feeling like Giannis out here. I really am.
Yeah, they have absolutely nothing for you. Uh-oh. Don't do it.
Oh,
Just let him shoot.
Let's go. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, look at that.
I should have kept going.
That would have been sweet. That would have been sweet.
Get that stuff out of here.
And this matchup, a little bit of a rarity now, Grant. Neither team in a hurry to get in transition.
Yeah, B.A., these teams have almost a throwback style to how they play. They don't want to get up and down and play fast. They want to go slow. And that takes players who have patience and discipline. Tonight will be a tactical battle.
And the starting lineup for the Nets. We've got Cameron Johnson, Edwards out there with Mikal Bridges. Then it's Ben Simmons, and it's Claxton in at the 4. Edwards against Mitchell. The 3 is up. Shot is good by Edwards.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
And here comes Cleveland. It's a 3-point game. Outside Mitchell. Pass to Green. Outside Garland. 4-3. Rebounded by the Nets. They defeated Milwaukee in their last game.
I found it was an interesting game. Anything they couldn't get from their starters, they got from their reserves.
For a number of reasons, depth seems to become more important every year.
And after a few seasons of anemic offense, the Cavs have finally started to turn things around.
Yes, they have, and they made a big step forward. Now, there's a nice balance to their offense.
Sinks the tray.
That right there, that's the kind of look this system is designed to create.
The Cavaliers have gone 0 for 3 from the floor to begin this one. Pass to Allen. And just around a minute and a half into this first quarter. Cleveland the rebound. It's deflected. Edwards with it. 6 points for him. For 3. Buries it from 3. Edwards got 9. Cleveland has gone 0 for 3 from downtown. They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Stolen by Bridges. Fires the 3. And the Nets, another 3.
The defense is nowhere to be found guarding the three-point shot.
And the Cavaliers call time here.
Yeah, hoping to tap into something that'll get them clicking.
Yeah, they need to regroup and maybe try and draw something up that can get them a clean look at the basket.
Edwards has gone 4 of 5 from the floor. Just the 1 miss. Garland finds Mitchell. Green with the ball. Will it go? They get the rebound. And it's out of bounds. The Cavaliers able to retain possession here. Garland against Edwards. They double team Allen. Pass to Mobley.
And the defense has been stifling early on.
Doesn't go for him. And here's Edwards outside. Three-pointer. Connects from downtown. He's got 15.
So far, they're owning both ends of the floor. We'll see if they can keep this going.
They came out and bum-rushed them. Huge difference in activity level from both teams tonight. Well, the defense didn't have any impact on that shot, but somehow he still misses it.
I'm thinking about the Aussie Ben Simmons. Such an impressive defender, Richard.
Honestly, he's a defensive player of the year caliber player every year, mainly due to his ability to guard any position. This is the type of versatility that isn't seen very often.
Finney-Smith checked in for the Cavs. Rubio comes in for Darius Garland. Thomas, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Dinwiddie comes in for Bridges.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Mills is checked in. And a change for the Nets. O'Neal, he's checked in for Simmons. And here's Edwards outside. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And this is how he shines. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
Yeah, and you got to know where he is at all times, especially when he's roaming around the perimeter ready to fire.
Now here's Edwards. 14 points for him last game against Milwaukee. Hits the trifecta.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Bad foul. That's not who you want to send to the line.
For your Cavaliers.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
Coming off the bench and playing well, it's an art. And Patty Mills, look, he's mastered that art. He's been excellent in that role for years.
Shot is good by Edwards.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
Cleveland has gone 0 for 4 from deep to start this one. Rubio passes to Mills. And he commits the intentional foul. And Patty Mills in this league for over a decade now. Richard, what makes him the ideal six-man?
I don't know. First, it's Patty's mentality. He's unselfish, kind of a team-first guy. Game-wise, Mills is a fantastic shooter, plays on or off the ball. He fills whatever guard role you need.
Connects again from distance. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable, B.A. Unbelievable.
And now we have an intentional foul. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, bizarre play, B.A. Not sure what got into him.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Now here's Edwards. 30 points in the game. Good. Another from 3. Man, he's really launching them from outside the arc.
Man, so locked in, feeling confident.
So a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Nets out
with a score. Your Cavaliers 36, the Nets 58. Let's give it up for your Cavs powerhouse.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. This one belongs to Brooklyn.
That's the end of the game.
This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them. They had to dig deep to come out on top.
Yeah, you know, some teams might buckle under the pressure towards the end. The crowd was so amped up, such a hostile environment. But they stood tall and got the win.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Brian Anderson, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
If it's your first time jumping into my team, I definitely want you to get used to just the mode in general. Definitely try out like clutch time. Clutch time is a 5-minute quarter game. You're basically jumping into the fourth quarter. It's tied up. Try that offline first. I definitely recommend the offline stuff to get used to like the different animations. But after that, you're gonna get better players. You'll be able to get rewarded for it, and then you'll be able like just to jump into online.
As the point guard, you are primarily
Well, we're at the time of the calendar when some teams go through a midseason lull. Graham, what has to be done to avoid that?
Well, first of all, you have to keep your composure. You cannot panic. And, of course, this is when a coach earns his keep. Motivation becomes key. Keeping the players focused and making sure nobody starts coasting.
Here's the starting group for the Milwaukee Bucks. Middleton is the 3, with Giannis playing the power forward. Drew Holiday out there with Edwards. And it's Lopez in at the center position, locking down the middle. Now here's Green. Doncic, no good. Edwards against Green. Shot is good by Edwards.
Woo, how sick was that, guys? I mean, he makes defenders look silly with moves like that.
Doncic passes to Green. Back to Doncic. Pass to Wood. Doncic against Edwards. Clock at 6. Doncic passes to Wood. Off the mark there with a 3.
Yeah, and Christian Wood moving here to the Mavs over the summer. Now, the Mavs knew they wanted more size, so they sent a number of players in exchange, but they got a deadly weapon to help them this season.
And that was the Mobile One drive. Low resistance to the finish line.
Yeah, taking the onus on himself to make something happen. Got it into the teeth of the defense and made them pay.
And it's Doncic missing.
3 straight misses to begin the game, not the start they were hoping for.
Edwards for 3. Drills it from deep. Edwards has got 5 points.
You can really feel the momentum swinging in their direction.
You want to continue to build on this lead. Right now, still a little too close for comfort.
Heads-up defense by Giannis. His ability to anticipate the shot pays off with the block. This game's taken on a whole new look thanks to this run.
This is a dominant stretch. I am so impressed with how they've played together as a unit over this last stretch.
Timeout on the floor. Mavericks.
And last season, Giannis passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the Bucks' all-time leading scorer. He wants to finish his career in Milwaukee, so that total bound to grow.
Now here's Doncic. Green, the pass to Doncic. Outside for Green. Can they get it? That one falls. Great setup by Doncic.
And there it is. After 4 straight misses, finally nail one.
Milwaukee has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. And Grant, both Giannis and Kareem dominated the paint. But they get it done differently.
Yeah, that they do. Kareem, possibly the best ever in the post, whereas Giannis might be the most dominant slasher and driver in league history.
And here's Edwards outside. Sinks another one. He's on a roll, starting 4 for 4.
The defense is nowhere to be found guarding the three-point shot.
And now we've got an intentional foul.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Wood passes to Green. That's tipped and stolen by Edwards.
And that's 2 awful trips in a row resulting in turnovers.
And the Bucks hit again from deep.
Their ability to space the floor has been the story of this game.
And what surprises me is the defense hasn't done anything to take away that 3-point shot. That has been their preferred weapon tonight.
Now here's Green. Right now averaging 5.5 a game.
2 minutes.
Just 5 on the clock. And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen.
You can get away with one once in a while, but it looked like he wasn't completely set on that pick.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
McGee, he's checked in for Dallas. Powell comes in for Bullock.
Anticipating before the play can happen, Luka Doncic gets the break started.
The Bucks have gone a perfect 7 for 7. And this Mavericks team, Grant, they are loaded up on shooters who can hurt you from outside.
And that's the way they should be built. Force teams to spread out and give Luka space. And when the Mavs get hot from outside, they are dangerous.
And so they foul intentionally. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for Milwaukee.
Well, it's all fast break points. Those easy buckets. They're so hard to come by in the NBA. So if you get a chance to run, you have to take advantage of it.
Another big component of their early game tonight has been points off turnovers. Great job converting on those chances.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Bad foul. That's not who you want to send to the line. You know, and where the Bucks seem to dominate every year is on the glass, particularly at the defensive end. #1 in the league the last 4 seasons.
You want to contest this guy's shot, but you absolutely don't want to send him to the line. He will make you pay.
And for some reason, he decided to foul there.
Yeah, B.A., that's an odd move. Maybe there's something else behind it.
And Grant, I guess for the Bucks, hey, you can't teach size.
And they're good fundamentally as well, B.A. I mean, they block out, they fight to maintain position. If you're going to beat them, it probably won't be with second chance points. Ooh, 7 for 9 in the first quarter. He's on fire.
And he commits. And so it's Milwaukee closing out the quarter ahead by 11 points.
Your Mavericks, 46. The Bucks, 57.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. Well, Milwaukee. And so it's Milwaukee easily grabbing this one. Boy, a nice win on the road. By the time this one was winding down, this building was stone cold silent.
And that's exactly what you got to do. You have to try to take the crowd out of it.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our 2K team, this is Brian Anderson signing off. So long, everyone.
He knows, so we'll just slay it out to him.
Yeah.
Do you want to sit down?
No, you stay.
You sure?
Just sit.
Should I come back?
No, we're good.
I didn't want to interrupt this conversation.
Have a seat.
All right.
I was hoping we can talk about how the Othello situation played out.
Yeah, I mean, it was just business, right?
Not the way I do business. You should have heard it from me first.
Itchy Twitter fingers.
Yes, that was unfortunate.
Not the most friendliest guy, huh?
A little cold, but he's good people.
Hey, I got...
just be yourself and have fun, really. Be consistent. You don't have to be the best at the game when you first start off, but as long as you're getting better and progressing each game, like, you're going to see yourself with more and more fans and more views.
We know the players enjoy the rest they get during All-Star Weekend. But Greg, you think it should be moved to later in the season?
I like how the current format splits up the season, but it seems more fair to hold an All-Star towards the end of the season so that voters get a more complete look at each player.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. The talented pair of Middleton and Giannis in at forward. Edwards is out there with Holiday, and it's Lopez in at the 5, patrolling the paint. Tate, no good. And it's Milwaukee's ball. There's the 3. And good. The three-point shot good from Edwards. Edwards got the first 3 points tonight for the Bucks. Well, some surprising news for this club today. The GM, Othella Akpem, is stepping away from the team. Greg, that has to cause some turmoil behind the scenes.
Especially with it going down in the middle of the season. When your team needs stability and direction, there has to be more to this than we know as of yet.
Edwards, that's good.
And good to get him going early. That shot should give him some confidence.
Perhaps he's set for a big night. I mean, he can be a difference maker for him when he's on his game.
Here's Christopher. 11 points last game. Lets it go with a 3. And again, the three-point shot is good from Edwards. Edwards got 9.
Off to a nice start here. They've hit all 3 from the field.
Edwards gotten all of his threes to drop for him. 3 for 3. Unlike a lot of perimeter-oriented teams, GA, offensively, the Bucks can really play inside out.
No doubt, and teams pack in the lane against Milwaukee, but Giannis in particular is a terrific passer, and if you leave a shooter open, he tends to find it. A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
This one for 3, and again Milwaukee with the triple.
3 points.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
For Houston, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Porter, no luck.
Just 1 of 4 from the floor, not the start they were looking for here.
Lets the 3 fly, and again for 3, the basket is good from Edwards. He's got 15.
And the defense is in disbelief here. Triple after triple.
When that happens, you simply just hope they start cooling off.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far.
Timeout.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to catch up with the head coach of the Rockets. He's looking to even the season series with a win tonight. He told me he knows his team can play better than they did the last time, and he thinks with a strong defense and shot blocking, they can make things difficult at that end of the floor. We'll see if they can impose their will tonight. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Obviously, they feel that's the strategy that will earn them the W.
And Kevin, when you're disruptive defensively, especially early on, that can help change the complexion of the rest of the game.
Exactly. I mean, because you're creating turnovers, getting into transition, playing in the open court against a defense that's not set, and hopefully getting some easy points at the other end.
Pass to Tate. On the wing, Porter. The Rockets again can't hit.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while. And the picture of consistency, Chris Middleton is like a metronome. Gives you 20 points, over 5 rebounds and assists every year. That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
You know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
Now, here's Porter. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game. Tate, no good. And one reason for Middleton's consistency, he plays at his own pace.
And that's a great point, Kevin. With his size and shooting touch, he doesn't need to blow by his man to score. It's all about getting to his spots.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit. That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Bobby Portis is checked in for Lopez. Joe Ingles comes in for Chris Middleton. And Allen subbed in for Drew Holiday. Martin, he's checked in for Smith. And here's Edwards from the arc. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
And how about the last 5 made shots have all been threes? The defense is just giving up a barrage.
Most teams get the message to cover shooters after 1 or 2 wide open looks at the three-point shot, but it seems like they have just not figured it out.
And with Kevin Porter Jr. and Michael Porter Jr. and Otto Porter Jr., guys, I'm sensing a pattern here.
It can even get a little confusing at times, but no relation that I'm aware of. They're just Porters, Juniors, and quality NBA players.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Milwaukee.
So far in this one, these guys have been knocking it down from distance. You've got to like their confidence as this game continues. They're on a nice roll.
And I really liked how they moved the ball tonight. Because of this selfless approach, they are piling up the assists. The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
That's 3 in a row from out there now, so they've got to do a better job contesting.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
And he has to take that long, slow walk back to the bench here. He'll watch the rest of this one from the sideline.
Carter, he's checked in for Edwards.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him.
Boy, this hurts to have to bring up, but I was there for the Rockets title winning days back in '94 when I was with the Knicks. I saw Houston in the finals firsthand.
He hits both from the strike. So it's Milwaukee with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. We've got more in store for you right after this. And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. And so it's the Bucks who come out on top here. They escaped with a victory, although they needed an extra period to get it done.
Yeah, but what a great game. Both teams, I felt like, gave it their all. But when it came to OT, it was just all about sheer determination on their part.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.